Good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We'll get started with our KW Connect overview here in just a minute. Just a couple of things to get out of the way before we get started. First is I like to do a sound check as I begin classes. I typically do it before, but nobody responded. So if you would look up near the very top of your screen, you should have the same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble icon, that's going to open up the chat window here. And I just sent you guys a message asking whether you can or can't hear me. If you would please let me know there. We'll get moving along with that. Let me move that chat window down there so we can look at that as we're going. This class is being recorded. That was that 3, 2, 1 countdown you saw just a second ago, and it should be available hopefully within just a couple of hours, but at the latest, okay, Tiz can hear me just fine. Thank you, Tiz. Should be up there within just a couple of hours, but at the very latest tomorrow, I should have that recording there at slmtraining.com. So that's S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in marketing, training.com. And then lastly, before we get started, if you are having trouble hearing me on maybe your computer speakers, there is the option to call in on your phone. That number has been by on the slideshow a couple of times now, but I also sent you that number and the code to access the class there in the chat window as well. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So working on our KW Connect overview, first we have to get into KW Connect. And the best, easiest way to do that is first getting logged into mykw.kw.com, your KW intranet, your KW backend, your KW homepage, whatever you call it. This is the easiest way to get into KW Connect. You can log directly into kwconnect.com, but we've seen it be maybe 60-40 with it not working on the 60% end versus 40 when it actually works to let you into KW Connect, logging in directly that way. So the easier way is here on the MyKW homepage. Up in the very top black menu, we're going to click on Education, the second option from the left. That'll take us directly into KW Connect, and it should automatically log us in. Where it takes us here is the Keller Williams University page, KWU. We're going to come here later, but first we actually want to go up and click on the KW Connect logo here in the top left to get to the home page. We're going to start here on the home page of KW Connect and work our way down and then across the top menu basically. So here on the home page, we do have the menu at the top. We're going to cover each of these in more detail as we go along. Also at the top right, we've got the upload button here, or sorry, before that, we've got this little magnifying glass. Magnifying glass, no matter where you are in the technology world, 100% of the time, I've never seen it mean anything else. Magnifying glass means search. So when you click on this magnifying glass, it's going to pop out a search bar in place of that menu. And you can search all of KW Connect from the search bar here. And if you'll notice just below that here on the home page, there's another search bar, is another magnifying glass. This search bar is specific to the home page. Any other page, if you wanted to search, you would need to use this magnifying glass here or come back to the home page. Next to that, we've got an upload button. This is where you can share your content here in KW Connect. KW Connect isn't just for KW International to share content. This is for all 180,000 KW associates to share with each other. So this is where you can share your scripts that you find that work. You can share your maybe listing presentation template. You can share your listing walkthrough video because you think maybe other people could learn something from that. That's what KW Connect is really all about. Sharing business building tips in whatever form that may take with other KW associates, whether that's from you to others or from them to you or from KW International to you. And you can share that by clicking upload there. There's a couple of different types of what you can upload. You can share videos, which is going to be the most common one. You can share audio files, which is going to be the least common one. And you can share documents where you upload maybe a PDF or a Word file or a PowerPoint file. Or you can share links to resources that are external to KW Connect, maybe on Facebook or on Indeed or on LinkedIn or something like that. You can share links to external resources as well. Those are the 4 kinds of things you can share here in KW Connect. And then lastly, across the top here, we've got this little profile icon. It should, I don't know why it's telling me to log in, but let me click on login here. And where it's going to take me here is my profile. Well, Scott's profile, technically. I'm logged in as him. Let's go back to the home page. What it's supposed to show up here in the top right is your picture in this circle, and then if you hover over that, you've got a couple of options here. We will be going over the profile after we cover the home page before we get to the menu here. The profile is fairly important because this is the profile that other agents are going to see when they're looking for you in the referral section here in KW Connect or on Command or in Kelly. So that profile, you control that from here. Coming down the home page, underneath the search bar, you may have noticed all these banner images that are sliding through. These are essentially kind of internal ads from KW International about things here in KW Connect that they think you would be interested in as a KW agent. Underneath that, we've got latest in tech here. This is going to be the newest information from KW International regarding labs, which is going to be Command and Kelly and the new version of the KW app. This is from, let's see, it was uploaded on June 10th, but it's from June 7th, which I believe was this past Friday. I think they do this every Friday as the latest in labs. Yeah, that looks about accurate. And that's going to be Josh team and the development team for Command and Kelly talking about the newest in what's going on in those platforms there. So that's where you're going to get the newest information on those is right here in KW Connect. Underneath that, we've got some featured content here. These are going to be videos by default, but you can change it to view all types of content, audio, files, or links. By default, what's going to show here on the home page is KW's handpicked stuff for what they want to show on the home page. You can also switch it over to be stuff from KW Associates instead. On the search page, which we'll get to in a little while, you can show both KW content and associate content, but here on the home page, it's one or the other. And I don't know how they choose what goes on here, whether it's the newest from KW International or popular stuff or handpicked stuff. I'm not sure about that. Under that, we've got this Connect Live section. This is the schedule for live streams here in KW Connect. So today from 3 to 4, I don't know what, okay, all time Central. From 3 to 4 Central, that's going to be Jim, which I don't know who Jim is, but it's a market update from Jim, which sounds like somebody important. Now, tomorrow from 3 to 4, again, Central, it's going to be Ask Me Anything, and I don't know who is hosting it, but it's probably a mega agent ask them anything about building your business. We've got a lead generation, grow your business on, what day is that? Friday from 12 to 1. And then on the 14th, also Friday, we've got the latest in labs, which is live. And then they record that and throw that up here at the top at 3 o'clock again, Central. Where was I? Okay. Coming down here at the bottom, upcoming courses here is pulling from the KW Connect calendar. This calendar does span all of KW in North America. So any market center, anywhere in KW, this is going to be events that are happening coming up in the next couple of days. So the 14th here, we've got an Ignite class. In fact, it's going to be primarily Ignite here. What you want to pay attention to is over here on the right, you can click View 52 More Classes. That's going to take you to the calendar, which we're going to cover in just a little bit. And you can narrow that down to your specific market center, your region, events at KW International in Austin, or across all of KW if you feel like it. And then under that, we've got popular searches, recommendations from KW International, and then the spotlight on one video from KW International, 7 steps to earn 10 listings a month. And then also at the very, very, very bottom, let me move the chat window briefly, you do have this button that says accept cookies. You have to click this button to make it go away, and it does pop up every single time you come to connect. It's never gonna, it's not like a one click and that does it forever. You have to click that every time you come into connect. That's from the GDPR that passed last summer in the European Union. Excuse me. And you'll see that across a lot of websites, not just KW Connect. Okay, so back here up at the top, we're going to go look at this profile. So if you'll hover over your picture, or if your picture's not there, it'll be your initials, and click on My Profile here. Again, this profile is the one that other KW agents are going to see when they're looking for you in the referral network, either here in Connect, on KW Command, or on Kelly. This is the same profile for all 3 of those in the referral section. Now this is 100% internal. Other people outside of KW, other agents or potential clients are not going to see this profile. So this is not a profile where you're trying to show off to people that you've never met that could become clients. This is where you're trying to show off to other agents, and you're going to treat that a little bit differently. Starting at the top here, we have this banner image. This image has to be very specific dimensions, so we're going to cover that in just a little bit. Over here we have your picture in the circle here. As we scroll down the page, we've got the About Me section, got some statistics that you can choose to share on the back end of the profile. This is going to be over the last year, the last 12 months of production. Memberships, which is going to be like commercial, luxury, farm and ranch, young professionals, that kind of thing. And then you can also dictate your service area that shows here on this profile. And the way you edit any of this is by clicking on this red link that says, you guessed it, Edit My Profile. So starting at the top here, this upload photo is going to be that one that shows in the circle here, and then on the profile over on the left. You can change your picture right there by choosing a file. Under that, we've got upload banner image. That was that one that was across the top behind that circular photo. And if we hover over this little eye right here, it says required dimensions are 1920 pixels wide and 313 pixels tall. It has to be exactly those numbers. It can't be 1921 wide, and it can't be 312 tall. It has to be exactly these particular numbers. Anything else and it's going to reject the file. So if you want to learn how to resize an image that you have to fit that box there, I'm sending you a link to a video that we have that'll show you exactly how to do that there. Scrolling down a little bit, you're going to put in, your email, your phone number. I don't know why they have separate phone number fields here. I guess this would be like an office or desk phone. This would be your mobile phone. Service area is that one that was at the bottom right there where you're telling people where you work. This is, again, other KW agents. This is people that are looking for a referral in a certain area. So when they're looking at your profile here, they want to see where you specialize. So if you list a dozen different places here, they're going to look at that and say, no, that person is not specialized. I'm going to skip past them because they're trying to, throw themselves out and get business from, anywhere versus, okay, I'm going to list, one or two, maybe three things in this field. And that's going to communicate that I know Orlando, I know Central Florida very, very well. So I'm going to actually remove this section here. I think somebody else was in here teaching a class and added that. So you want to narrow this down to your actual, real, honest specialty areas. This is not a place to basically tag load, quote unquote, where you're trying to list everywhere that somebody could possibly be looking for a referral agent in your entire service area, because referrals are very specific and people are looking for specific information in specific areas. Under that, for biography, you can use the same biography that you use on your public profiles for clients, or you can gear this more toward, again, other KW agents, because only KW associates that are looking for an agent to send a referral to are going to see this profile in this biography. Under that, excuse me, you've got boxes for different social media profile links. It does require the entire link. It wants the whole http:// blah, 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 the entire link. Whereas in other places on KW, it wants just the part after this first slash. Here in Connect, it wants the entire thing. So if you need help finding the links that go in these boxes, I'm going to send you guys, guess what, a video about how to do that as well. Coming down underneath that, we've got custom tags. These tags apply to the content that you're going to be sharing here in KW Connect. So any documents you upload, any videos you share, any scripts or whatever that you're sharing here in KW Connect, these tags are going to be applied to all of those content as you upload them. So you want this to be accurate. You want this to be honest. You want this to be real. You want this to be true tags that actually apply to the content that you're uploading here in KW Connect. Again, no clients are seeing this. This is only for other agents to see, and it's only applying to the content that you upload. So for example, say you're a listing specialist on a team. You could put in here, listing scripts or FSBO scripts or things like that. You wouldn't do something like buyer scripts or walkthrough tips or not walkthrough tips. Stuff that relates to being a buyer's agent. And so if someone were searching for buyer's agent content, and they came across yours and it's all listing content, that's just going to frustrate them. So you want to be real and true and honest and accurate with the tags that you're putting here that are going to be applied to the content that you put here in KW Connect. Under that, you've got a selection of your primary market center. This only applies if you're a member of more than one market center. If you just have one market center, you're only going to have one option. You can't change it. If you are a member of multiple market centers, this is where you're going to select the one that you show up for. Actually, you know what? I can't say that. I honestly don't know what this selection is for. I thought it was to do with the referral network, and I went and checked that, and it's not true. So I don't know why you're choosing which market center right here. Under that, for email frequency, you're choosing how often you receive emails about notifications either in the referral network or your KW Connect content. And you can't turn these off completely. You can get a separate email for each notification. You can get an email each day with the summary or an email each week with the summary. Underneath that, you've got options for which stats you want to show on your profile. You'll remember back on Scott's profile, it showed a lot more stats than just this one that's on your time with KW. That's something that happens a lot here in the KW Connect profile. You'll actually need to reach out to KW International support for more help getting that fixed up. It doesn't really matter on Scott's profile because he's not an agent. People aren't going to be sending him referrals, and it doesn't matter what his stats are or are not. But for you, you may want to actually be able to turn things on and off. So you'd actually need to reach out to KW International support. Once you've made any changes here, you'll need to click Update either down here at the very bottom or up at the very top. Both of these buttons are going to save what you changed in your profile here. All right. Coming back up to the top menu, we're going to hover over memberships. Memberships is basically just divisions of KW. So if you click on My Memberships, you're going to see whether you're a member of, what are we talking about? Is it supposed to show My Memberships? Explore Memberships? This is going to do the same thing, right? Okay, guess not. But so this is going to be for like commercial, farm and ranch, luxury, land, KW Young Professionals, Livestream Plus, I guess. I don't know what all this stuff is. So you can get more information about the different divisions, the different groups and memberships in KW International here. Over here on calendar, we're going to spend a little bit. So I mentioned earlier that this calendar shows events from all of KW across the entire North American continent. What it's showing right now is, this is all MC events. So this is every event that's going on around the country here. So, and this is, I think this is filtered down further. Yeah, class or team meeting. So someone else has been in here looking at stuff. Change that filter there. And it's going to take a minute because there's a lot that's going to need to be loaded. There we go. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so this is all events, and typically you're going to get plus 97 or 98 or whatever more. There's more than 100 events that are going on every day across the company because there are 850 roughly market centers. So if you want to narrow this down, you would click on Advanced Filter up here at the top left. So by default, what's going to be on here is all MC events. You'll notice this little dot here is this green teal color. That's the color of the events on the calendar. So if you're ever questioning, what type of filter is applied here or what type of event is this, it's going to show you based on that color. So I can uncheck that and instead check My Market Center and then do Apply Filter. And it's going to show just the events that are going on in my local market center. You can also come up here and do My Region. So this is all market centers in your region, or events hosted by the region, or events from KW International, or you can filter that down by commercial. I don't know if there's going to be anything commercial very often. So we're just going to do this as My Market Center. You can also filter this by owner, which is kind of pointless. Nobody's going to manage events here in the calendar. These come from KW or from the Market Center calendar in the intranet. So I don't know why this is even an option. You can filter it down by type, whether this is a class. You can also even search for a class. So if I do Ignite here, you can also search by, is it an ALC meeting, team meeting, leadership consultation, live stream, or other. And you can also filter by whether it's online or in person. So let's apply this filter here. Look for Ignite in My Market Center. It looks like there's not anything coming up soon. Let's go look at July. Apparently not. Apparently they haven't scheduled out Ignite very well. Okay. But you can filter that by, any of those things there. Now, It says sync to my Market Center calendar right here. This is supposed to enable you to connect to your Google Calendar, and this might actually work now. Let's try. See what we get here. KW Connect wants to access your Google account. So it's basically to add calendars to your Google Calendar. Okay, so you're selecting which Market Center you want to send to which calendar. So we're going to send that there, click Submit. This is new. Market Center calendar is functionalized. I missed how you got there. You mean to syncing with the calendar? That's there was a blue link up here that says sync to Market Center calendar right here. So now that I've been through that process, it says view Google Calendar sync. So let me click on that, see where that goes. Okay, so it just shows me what I set up there. So let's go back. Actually, you know what? Let's click on that view calendar, see what that turns on. Okay, so this one takes me over to Google Calendar. And apparently it's taking whatever view that I was looking at. So I was looking for, remember in the filters, I was looking for classes of Ignite in my Market Center. So let me uncheck that and apply that filter. And it looks like I don't get a new Google Calendar sync here. So you'll have to play around with that. I'll have to play around with that because that is new. Okay, so back up in the top menu, we just finished up with the calendar. Come over to resources. We are going to touch on each of these, but we're not going to go very long into detail about all of them. Okay, I did not have those choices. Okay, so what I'm thinking that might be, Tiz says he didn't have those choices. What I'm thinking that might be is that Scott has a leadership role. So let's see. Yeah, see, I can't figure out what that sync would be. So since you don't have that option as an agent and you're not leadership, then I really wouldn't concern myself with it. But you can maybe, what's that called? Offer that as an idea at ideas.kw.com. So that's ideas plural with an S. .kw.com, and you can share with KW International and the labs team what you would like to add to different KW tools, and you can maybe create a topic in there or vote on a topic about syncing the KW Connect calendar with Google as an agent. Okay, so here on resources, starting at the top is Connect Live. This is going to be the schedule and recordings for those Connect Live classes. So like we covered at the bottom or near the bottom of the home page there, got that lead accelerator class today, got Jim's market update today, got the, actually this was apparently the same time as now. Excuse me, you know, all of that fun stuff. Welcome to Associates. It's going to be resources for brand new agents. So it's going to be information about what to do as you get started, getting started with your technology, all the things like that. Culture is how you as a KW associate and KW as a company are going to interact with people, and that's any people. That's people within KW, co-brokers outside of KW, your clients, the general public, the MLS. That's basically what type of person and what type of company are we supposed to be as KW. So if you want to learn more about like Mo Anderson and the Y4C2Ts and the MVVBP and all those different acronyms, you can find that there in culture. Events is going to be the really big ones like family reunion and mega camp and mastermind camps and things like that. So you can get more information about those events. Industry is how KW is affecting the industry, both you guys as associates helping KW grow and become the #1 company in the country, and KW as a company interacting with different parts of the industry. So if you want news about that, you can go there. Keller Mortgage here is becoming a lot more widespread. It's not nearly as experimental as it was. So you can get information about signing up with Keller Mortgage there and getting that link added to your KW app and things like that. On KWU, I am going to click there on KWU. This is where you can get information on all the classes that are provided by KW International to be taught at your market center. Not every market center teaches every class, but if you are wanting to teach the class or look into the content of the class before you go to a different market center to attend it, you can find that information here. You've got, if we were to click here, and we'll go there in just a second. If we were to click here, this is a list of all the courses. The most popular course, anybody's going to know this, is Ignite. You can also learn about the Leverage series, Shift, curriculum paths, recordings of classes here in KW Connect, Lunch and Learns, and faculty for teaching KWU classes. So if we click on courses here, this is going to list all of the several dozen excuse me, different classes that KW International has for associates and team leaders and leadership and all that kind of stuff. This is all the courses provided by KWU. And you can get more information and materials and things like that by clicking on any of these. By default, it's sorted alphabetically. So we're going to click on Ignite right here just to do an example. So you've got information about the course. You've got your resources as a student or an instructor, and then you've got your 10-4 tracker. If you don't know what that is, check with your Ignite instructor. They're going to be able to tell you about that. You've got the materials for the class. You've got all the PDFs, and these are going to be updated as well as KW International updates the classes. So, excuse me, you can download these, print these off if you want. You can also go purchase printed materials, the full book, the full about 2-inch notebook of all of these, what are they called, materials for Ignite. E-learning, I don't know why this is a thing. Let me click on this, show you what it looks like. Yeah, see, there's not really a point to doing that. I don't know why they have that. And then reviews of the class, and then resources for faculty. Back here under resources, we've got MAPS coaching. This is where you can get into coaching, just like it says. So like group coaching or individual coaching, mastery coaching, things like that. You've got more information there. Marketing, we're going to go ahead and click on. Right here, we're going to click in just a second on logos and branding. But before we do that, check it out. Here's a listing presentation template. This is the #1 question we receive from agents as far as materials. Where do I get a listing presentation template? Right here. On the marketing page in KW Connect. There's also some templates in eEdge, but if you want a listing presentation template provided by KW, here it is right here. You can also get red label clothing, you can get Outfront magazine, press release templates, social media ideas and tips and tricks, and then resources for leadership to implement the growth initiative. We are going to click on logos and branding here. First thing on the page here is the identity and style guide. This is a PDF document. This details how you are and are not allowed to use the KW logo and KW branding in your marketing materials. It talks about sizes, it talks about fonts, it talks about colors, it talks about ratios. So you want to download this and make sure that you're following the rules when you're using KW in your marketing materials. Business cards, yard signs, flyers, billboards, whatever you're using the KW logo and name on, you have to follow these rules here or you could potentially get in trouble with KW International. So make sure to follow those rules in the style guide. Also, if we scroll down a little while farther, we've got, there it is, Market Center logos here. In this search box right here, you can search for the name or number of your market center. So Market Center 196 is Gulf Coast. That's the market center that I'm from originally in Pensacola. You can download a zip file of a bunch of different formats of the KW logo. You've got EPS, PNG, JPG, I think there are even some SVGs in there. And if none of that means anything to you, you would actually just send that entire zip file to your designer, whoever it is that's making your business cards or whatever, and they would know which file type to use. Now you can also search for, like I said, the name. So we're going to search for Orlando. Oops, I clicked out of it. No Orlandos. Okay. Gosh. What on earth is going on here? Okay, fine. We'll search for Central Ohio right here. So you can search for the name of the market center as well. Now, if you're searching here and you've tried the name, you've tried the city, you've tried the market center number, and it's not showing up, If your market center does not appear, contact your market center leadership. Leaders can request creation of a custom compliant logo for their office by emailing kwredlabel@kw.com. Your market center leadership has to do that. You can't do that yourself. Okay. Back up under resources, we've got for MCAs. If you're not an MCA, don't click there. Technology, this is going to be a lot of information about the different KW technology tools, especially the new stuff, Command and the new app and Connect and all that. Leverage, when you hear leverage in regards to KW, leverage means hiring, leveraging your time versus their time to do things that only you can do and them doing things that they can do. So typically that's going to mean first hiring an admin, but also building your team by hiring like buyer's agents and listing specialists and showing specialists and things like that. Leverage is going to get you into, what is that called? Career visioning. There's a whole entire course regarding how to hire the best people for your business, and leverage is going to get into that. Profit share, I'm not going to cover too much about. You would want to ask your market center leadership about that, especially the team leader. They can explain what profit share is. And we've also got vendor search here where you can search for vendors that are approved by KW. So we've got business card, not search, but look, find. Okay, so business cards, home warranties, AdWorks, online advertising there. Avis budget group, so savings with, I need to look at these. Brandco, Brevity, things like that. Okay, coming over here to Ask Agents. By the way, if you guys have any questions or you're unclear on anything, definitely use that chat window there to ask me questions, just like Tiz there. So here in Ask Agents, this is supposed to be a forum for other agents for agents to ask other agents about, practicing real estate. I've got a special situation with this buyer or this seller, or does anybody have a recommendation for, lease listings and advertising those or whatever? What it has devolved into, unfortunately, is I've got this referral that I'm trying to send to somebody, or I'm looking for a referral, or I'm looking for somebody to host my open house. That's not what this was intended for. There's other places to look for those types of things. So instead, what you're supposed to be sharing here, see, there's so many. I don't even know what you're supposed to be doing there. So instead here in Ask Agents, be the better people and use this for the reason that it was intended for, asking other agents questions about how to conduct and build your business. This is not supposed to be looking for referrals or trying to broadcast or advertise a referral. There's different ways to do that in the, guess what, referrals section. If you want to work with referrals, anything to do with referrals, do that in the referrals section, not here in Ask Agents. Okay. Coming over to technology, we're not going to cover these too deeply. Tech-enabled agent is going to be the same stuff as technology right here. Same for Keller Cloud. There's a lot of redundant stuff here. Videos is going to be videos about technology. Got your labs dashboard. What is that going to say? Technology built for agents by agents. There's a lot of redundant stuff in here. Leadership tech guide, you probably won't even have the option for here in the menu. You've also got technology.kw.com right here, which is information about KW technology and labs and getting started with all that. Coming back, we've got answers.kw.com, which is KW International's knowledge base. There's articles on how-tos and troubleshooting and why isn't this doing this, or why is this doing this, or fix this. All of those kinds of answers are going to be here in KW's knowledge base at answers.kw.com. And then lastly, in ideas.kw.com, I mentioned this a little while ago. If there's anything that you'd like to see in Command or Connect or Referrals or Kelly or anything like that that's provided by KW, developed by KW, excuse me, you can either share that as a topic here, or you can search for and vote on other people's idea for the same thing. So say you had the idea, could you just touch on Keller Cloud? Unfortunately, I can't. That's not what this class is about. If you want information about Keller Cloud and Command and Kelly, we have separate classes for each of those. You can find those at the link that I sent you guys earlier, slmtraining.com. If you want to learn how to use contacts in Command or how to use Kelly or how to use any of those other things, there are specific classes for those. So you check that out at slmtraining.com. So coming back here to ideas, say you had the idea in command that you wanted to see more than 50 contacts at a time. Someone else already has that idea. So you would just click on vote here on their idea, and that would be pushed up toward the development team to consider more seriously. Looks like that is already in development, so no need to vote on that or to post it again. But add secondary contact info to the command import template, like spouses or children or partners or things like that. That would be something cool to vote on there to get added to command. Export from command, that's in development, things like that. Okay, where was I? Okay, so let's go back to KW Connect. Was that it? Let's look at Keller Cloud here. So this right here, you'll notice Keller Cloud right here, hover over resources, click technology. It's the exact same page. We already covered this. I think this is actually what you were asking about, Tiz. I'm sorry about that. We were already here. Okay. Referrals we're actually going to skip over because we do have a class specifically for referrals through KW Command, which is the way that KW International would prefer for you to do that. And we've got that listed on that SLM training as well, slmtraining.com. And then lastly here under growth, really all that you're going to have available here is career growth initiative and expansion. Career growth initiative comes out of what was the growth initiative initially in, I forget what year it was, in the mid-2000s. KW International developed a system for team leaders to help them recruit, to help build the company into the #1 company that it is today. And it prescribed how team leaders were supposed to go about recruiting and how much they were supposed to do, how often, and things like that. And that grew KW International to the #1 real estate company in terms of agent count over roughly 7 years. After that, that was translated into the Career Growth Initiative, which is aimed at individual agents to help build their businesses. So the Growth Initiative has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it actually works, because it's how KW International went from, I think it was like 35,000 agents to 150,000 agents in roughly 7 years because of the Growth Initiative, because of this prescription for how team leaders were supposed to recruit and do their business. So that's been translated here into the Career Growth Initiative for agents using the same principles, the same types of tools that are guaranteed, because it's already been proven through the Growth Initiative, guaranteed to help you build your business and earn more money. That's what everybody cares about. You will guaranteed earn more money if you follow the Career Growth Initiative to a T. It is promised by KW International. It's been proven by KW International. You will grow your business if you follow the Growth Initiative, the Career Growth Initiative. And then lastly, for expansion here, if you've already got a lot of money and you want to open your own market center, or if you want to expand your team into other existing market centers, that's where you can learn about that there in expansion. Okay, this class is shorter than it used to be because I don't have to try to fit 45 minutes of referrals into 10 minutes. So if you want to learn more about referrals, we do have that separate class there. That's going to do it for our KW Connect overview for today. This should be up at slmtraining.com, hopefully in just a couple of hours, but at the latest tomorrow. Everybody have a great day.